Okay, folks, so I hope you're doing well today. I've got a new setup with this camera. Doesn't matter that much. I'm sure you don't care, but so I'm working out a few kinks here. But anyway, so of course there will be a little bit of shade here. There will be something that shows up there. The sun will rise. I'm trying to figure this whole thing out. But anyway, I digress. So here we go. Here's what we came here for is the headline, okay? And this drew me in quite readily because I like to see the mix of culture wars, absolute buffoonery, and with a little bit, try to sprinkle in a little bit of humor because without that, I'm not gonna make it. like I need some humor to make it through all this insanity, and most of us probably do. So Portland poop crisis triggers bacteria outbreak normally found in the third world. And are we shocked? Tell me, are we shocked? Seriously. No. If you are 99% of the world right now, you're not shocked. If you are living in a cocoon called Portland right now, you'll probably end up being surprised because you have no common sense. And most people seems like most people in that area, not most people, but I would just say a small contingent, the loud, the noisy, the dirty, just the rancid contingent that seems to rule over Portland right now and utilize the homeless and all these druggies as some sort of leverage to do a controlled demolition of their city. And Portland's more than willing to do this. So we have, of course, a monstrous homeless crisis in Portland itself, which is always fun, as you can see here. We've got Happy Noel. You've got a teepee here. What else have we got? Homelessness was created by colonizers. Of course, there's some social justice warrior stuff, but social justice warrior does not equate to someone who wants to actually make the world a better place. Homelessness was created by colonizers, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is do drugs and sit in this tent and most likely end up in the hospital, or probably I will pass away very soon because of my drug habit. So anyway, I could go into that forever. I do have sympathy for the homeless, I do, but not necessarily the social justice people who've decided, hey, I'm going to be homeless because I want free stuff from everybody. And I'm going to yell and scream about every social injustice or everything I can find that's divisive in the world, but I'm not going to do a damn thing about it. I am just simply going to take a dump here in this tent, go to the next tent, get some drugs, and just hang out and just kind of waste away. And I'm going to absorb and consume. Okay, and so this is kind of what they want. So let's go ahead and read this. Woke Democrats have caused an absurd amount of problems for law-abiding citizens in Portland, including a surge in violent crime, out-of-control open-air drug markets, and widespread homelessness. Now, let me mind you, if you already are into it or you've been red-pilled slightly, George Soros, this is his wet dream, okay? This is what he pays politicians to do, is the controlled demolition of America. We know this is also the WEF's game plan. Part of their playbook is to take down the United States, do a controlled demolition of the West, and have no middle class whatsoever, just have simply an upper class, which is going to be them. They're going to be eating the meat. Okay, they're not going to be eating bugs, and then we will be eating the bugs. We know this by now. That's been confirmed a million times. You just go on the WF website. They'll tell you. Let me tell you, evil people, they usually end up telling you what they're going to do, because the thing is they're so blind and arrogant and stupid that they will end up probably telling you because they just can't, they're so giddy about it. I can't wait to euthanize half the world and decrease the population. Bill Gates just, he just gets, he gets giddy about this stuff. So it appears to be parts of the metro area have been transformed into a third world-like state because of disastrous progressive policies. Now the combination of failed policies has sparked what appears to be a public health crisis. a highly contagious bacteria called Shigella. Oh, interesting. It's spreading across Portland. This bacteria is common in countries found in sub-Saharan Africa and South Asia regions. Now, one reason that this is spreading, or how did this get introduced? This sub-Saharan South Asia bacteria. Well, probably from being super dirty, but where did it come from? It probably came from illegal immigration at the southern border. Let's just, that's that. There's not much nuance to it. It's pretty much probably this is where these things are going to come from. And this makes the WEF people the anointed, as Thomas Sowell calls these globalists. This probably makes them just super, super happy because this is what they want. They want to depopulate the world. They have an agenda here. And so this is just like, hey, one more bonus to deconstructing and destroying the world to a certain point, though. Okay. And so this is called Shigella. What to know about Shigella? I'm not going to read this whole thing. It causes diarrhea. I know you can't see it on here because it is fuzzy on InfoWars site too, so I can't see it very well. But I know it says Shigella causes diarrhea. It is spread through poop. Help stop the spread of Shigella. Clackamas County, Oregon, Multnomah County. Good, guys. If you have diarrhea or other symptoms, avoid making blah, blah, something food. When to get medical care? Well, probably right away. And so Shigella spreads when one person's infected poop gets into another's mouth through food or water. Geez, I wonder how that could happen when you're living in tents, homeless people living in tents, doing drugs, sharing needles, using tainted needles, and you're also basically living in your own filth. Now, there are some porta potties up there. I've seen that. But I have a feeling, because this is Portland, these really aren't taken care of on a consistent basis. So I have a feeling these porta potties, these shitters, probably just fill up with shit, and then it's easily spread from there because everybody's dirty and totally unwashed. And I'm saying, hey, for those homeless who are trying to get out of that situation, good for you. If you're mentally ill, I do sympathize. But these, some of these socialist shills that live out there that want government daddy to pay for everything, I don't have much sympathy for you there. So if you get Shigella, just go to the hospital and wear your mask. Remember that. You got to wear your mask. So this might be a good time to wear a mask so you don't accidentally put poop in your mouth because you've just touched poop. And I figure this is a petri dish. These homeless encampments are just a massive petri dish. And some of the stuff is very sad. I have to admit, some of this stuff is very sad. There are people who are dying. And I'm sick and tired of it, especially Americans. Hey, even if I don't like your politics and I don't like your social justice warrior activism, even if you're a socialist, if you are a US citizen, I figure, hey, there's no way I would not turn you away at a hospital. That's not what you do. Even though I condemn your politics, I condemn what you believe, or I don't believe it, you still deserve medical care and stuff like this. So we're going to see numbers of Shigella probably rising and increasing a bit in Portland. So it says that Multnomah County, which is one of the counties, I think Portland is in one of them, Multnomah, Clackamas, I don't know. Anyway, I've only been to Portland like twice. So Multnomah County said Shigella spreads when one person's infected poop gets into another person's mouth through food or water from objects or surfaces with Shigella bacteria on them or during sex. Oh, okay. Well, you know that's what's going on because there's a lot of pimping going on in these tent encampments, these homeless tent encampments. I mean, down to like I saw something that said they're doing it for like $20 now. They'll be like, hey, I'll do you for $20, and pimps are drugging up these other people now I don't know who they are, children, men, women. I don't know firsthand, but they're drugging them up, and then they're just saying, hey, we'll cut the price down. This person's totally drugged up. It'll only be $20, and they'll have no idea. It's pretty disgusting. Shigella spreads very easily. Even a very small amount is enough to make someone sick. Sick. In December, there have been over 45 infections of the deadly bacteria in Multnomah, Washington, and Clackamas counties, with 9 different strains found in Portland since October. For the year, 218 cases have been reported in the region. Oh, well, here you go. Local disease patterns suggest that fecal oral spread through sexual contact may account for between half and more than 2/3 of all cases without international travel. The rest are typically attributed to other types of person-to-person spread, including outbreaks among populations with lack of hygiene, okay, Portland, shelter and sanitation, and among people who use illicit substances. Well, here's a solution for you, Portland. You knew this was going to happen. Like, they did all their virtue signaling and they knew it was going to happen. But remember, politicians, that's how they work. Their main activity during most of their term is on just getting reelected. So actually taking care of business or caring about the populace, that's probably maybe like a fifth of what they do. The other 4/5 are just them trying to get reelected, spending the next 4 years or 3.5 years trying to get reelected. They spend about 6 months actually proposing real things that affect people. And then the next 3.5 years after that, for a 4-year term, they're going to spend just simply worrying about getting reelected, which is actually true. And so the bacteria. So here's the thing: in a place like Portland, this is kind of like the thing. Like they did that. They deregulated basically illicit drugs. Period. So meth, fentanyl, these things you don't go to jail for. You're getting arrested. There's no accountability. There's nothing. So drug dealers are just it's a heyday there. And they've got these human subjects and they're just selling junk to them. Nothing happens to them. There's no recourse, except I think the recourse comes at the cost of course, the druggie themselves, obviously health concerns, and the city of Portland too. Eventually, it's impacting regular people who are trying to actually do their jobs or make a living or have a life or have a family or take care of just regular daily things to stay alive. And so if Portland, this was coming, like the rest of us, 99% of the world, we all knew this. We all knew this. Heck, probably somebody in India in some poor town probably knew this too. They're like, oh, that Portland sucks. I mean, Bangladesh is pretty dirty, but but this is bad, And the bacteria has been impacting the houseless, mainly because of hygiene and sanitation issues. Truth is, oh, here we go. Sadly funny, took this picture of poop when I was downtown a couple days ago. Portland homeless population grew 65% from 2015 to 2023. So there's some poop for you folks, just to make your day. Happy New Year. And here's the thing too, is 65%. And so we know these West Coast cities, like the commie West Coast, seriously, they love their communism, okay? And they have, they've been deregulating like the use of drugs. They've been actually providing like stipends and stuff like that for the homeless as well. They'll give them some free money. San Francisco, they did this. They give them like $200, $300. I saw an interview where a guy was interviewing a couple of homeless guys, and this one guy was like from North Carolina, and he's like, well, that's why I came out here, man, because they said they'd give you like $300 a month, and then you wouldn't get arrested, and you can do basically any drug you want here. And you can just live on the street, and nobody will ever move you. And so they take their dumps on the streets. There's open sewage now. We've gone straight back to Middle Ages. All that effort we made towards hygiene and all these things, progress, actual human progress. We cleaned up, we created new sewage systems. We realized that, hey, diseases are coming from the sewage systems. We totally revamped these things. We got these amazing, brand new, modern infrastructures. And now, thanks to people like George Soros, Bill Gates, etc., there's too many people on the earth, according to them. That's their thing. And so here comes the demolishing, the actual live demolition of Western culture right here. is let's regress. So when you hear the term progressive, just think regressive, because that's what it is. Okay, so there's some poop for you. You know, like I said, Happy New Year. This morning I saw that, let's see, I'm going to do that. So here's the dude doing, I turned the sound off. This morning I saw about 3 posts from Portland leftists saying how crime is down and the perception that our city is a shithole is not true. Do you think Portland is getting better? And this, you can see a druggie here. I mean, okay. Just down there yesterday, many druggies moved on to the Max Light Rail because it's wintertime. Way less people in general. Some streets are all homeless, drugged out. Some are half homeless and other parts abandoned. Didn't see needles, but there's human poop on sidewalks and streets I saw. So this is our new progressive, a whole new beautiful world under progressiveness and love, is essentially not giving a shit about people. And see, they say, oh, but let them do what they want. But what that means is I don't care about people. Okay, if I have a little kid and he's a cute little guy and whatever, my son or whatever, I am going to tell him, you can't run out in the street. You know why? Because I love the guy. You know what? If I didn't love him, I would just be like, I don't care, whatever. And that's what they've done. These politicians have waved their virtue signaling flag saying, well, if you tell people that they can't do that or whatever, then that means you're mean. You're a big meanie. You don't care. You don't care. No, you care when you get these people help that they need. Okay, and you can see them lighting up here. I don't know what that is. I don't know drugs very well, but lighting up something. So who knows? Who knows what this is? And he's got some food there or something. Anyways, you can see this is typical Portland, a day in Portland. It's pretty sad. And you can see like wheelchairs. You see that, just abandoned wheelchair. There's somebody there. There's somebody sleeping under there in this picture. And then there's, I don't know what this is. There's some tents, some random poop. I had a request for another Portland human poop photo. So apparently it seems like these might be going viral a little bit. Portland poop photos. And that's where we're at, folks, in our society. We have come so far. Thank you, Michelangelo, and thank you for doing the Sistine Chapel, because this is where we've actually ended up. I had a request for another Portland human poop photo, and can't leave my audience hanging. Chinatown deuce. And there it is. Somebody took a deuce in Chinatown. And beautiful boarded up building with diarrhea on the steps is quintessential Portland. I didn't even notice the poop at first. I was just taking a picture of the doorway with the globe light. A close-up shot of the diarrhea was sent to a couple of my loved ones. Hashtag Portland. Oh, there you go. Somebody had a diarrhea right there. Ugh, you can see it kind of right there. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention data shows that about 450,000 Shigella infections exist right now annually in the U.S. currently. So anyway, that's my little thing for you today. I hope that kind of gives you a little spark and a little bounce in your step and a little, little go-get-'em attitude. But I would, this is a bad thing for sure. And it's super sad when you see the outcomes of the people who are apparently in the positions of power deciding, making these decisions and not actually enforcing the law at all. And in fact, being paid by people like George Soros, who fund a lot of these campaigns for these politicians in Portland, to actually create a worse place. Okay, so anyway, if you have any comments, just leave them below, but this is kind of something fun and put a little spring in your step. And anyway, Happy New Year, and I will talk to you later. Thanks, folks. Bye.